Hello everyone, hi, this is Rahul, your Filmi Baniya, and today I'm going to be talking about a TV show which I've been following, which has premiered on CBS in the United States, and it's available freely on the internet on various torrent sites. The show is called Evil, and Evil is a very fascinating journey which I thought would not be that interesting into the world of supernatural and the unknown. Now, to understand if you look at any supernatural shows, you will look at, aliens or demons or, Buffy the Vampire Slayers. You have vampires or you'll have zombies. These typical, atypical, there's this whole very set paradigm of how you view supernatural shows as far as Hollywood is concerned. Now, this show, which stars a very, very interesting cast, including Luke Cage, Nick Colter, about how this whole process is unfolding, and the process of exorcism, the process of how to absolve people out of spirits, demons. This whole thing always looks like a lot of Zulu to me. Who's going to understand all of this, and how are we going to make these things entertaining? Let's face it, a supernatural show would work on a very defined palette. It will have a very defined set of rules. But here in Evil, I personally feel that the creator Michelle King and her husband Robert King, who have created this show, have really created something very unique. They've challenged actually Robert and Michelle King, and they both have actually created this very unique world. So how does it start? So it talks about somewhere in New Her there is this psychiatrist who is basically a forensic psychologist actually, and her name is Dr. Kristen Bouchard, played by the very, very gorgeous and extremely good looking and very talented actor Katja, who you might have seen in Westworld, one of my favorite shows. And she is hired by Mike Colter, who plays David DeCosta, or Luke Cage, who's a journalist trying to be a priest. And then they have Aasif, Mandvi, another Indian-American actor, as Ben, who's a contractor who gives technical support and equipment handle work to these two. And all three of them investigate purported supernatural incidents. So what we see in the... so I've gone through 7 episodes which have released. Now 2 more are left. And you can find them. And what happens is that in a very beautiful way, they put a very concerted effort to make things which look supernatural by giving them some logic to it, that okay, this is not supernatural, it's bloated. Some people are using hidden cameras to project spirits in some places. There are psychological reasons why people would think a woman is possessed by a spirit, but eventually she isn't. She has psychological problem. They go out and look at how basically the priests and the entire order, they have a Monsignor who tells them that the church is under threat because of a prophecy of a Chinese American woman who claims to be talking to God. And what is amazing is that they also perform some supernatural problems, like perform like some remedy on supernatural problems, and what they've done is they've got into some new settings. So in one of the episodes, the episode number 4, Rose 390, so we see a pedophile criminal actually hacking into a group gaming site used by children by becoming an ugly ghost of a young girl. So they go there, they dismantle the whole machinery, and their basic idea is to demystify the fact that supernatural things are very minimal. And be it the acting of Aasif Mandvi as Ben is just fantastic. I think I'm really, really impressed by this entire cast, especially Katja, who plays a mother to 4 children and 4 daughters actually, and they keep on getting attacked by different people because she's out there to expose a lot of stuff. So somewhere when you feel around the fifth or the sixth episode that a forensic psychologist and a wannabe priest and a contractor are working together to demystify the fact that there is no supernatural existence, they get, trampled upon, I would say, if that's the right word, by something supernatural. So I think what is beautiful about this show is that you have a forensic psychologist who brings the logic that these things don't exist, and she brings her own school of thought of non-believing, actually, a non-believer. And David Acosta, played by Mike Colter, as the priest, brings the spiritual part that these things do exist. And then there is Aasif Mandvi's Ben Shakir, who goes out and tries to bring some technical aspect to these whole things and try to basically project the fact that any supernatural occurrence in each of the cases they investigate might be done in a technical way to make believe. And I think that's fantastic. We have never seen so many contradictions in one team which is trying to attack the supernatural. Now, if you just take a while back and just look at Exorcist, which is possibly the greatest horror film ever made, you have, and many movies like Nun and all this entire Conjuring universe, you have a group of believers who were trying to exorcism actually, and trying to get rid of devils. They're all same. But in this team, you have two people who are totally different polar opposites, but they still work together because they feel that a forensic psychologist can be of some help while counseling people who are stuck in the problems of supernatural occurrences. But at the same time, they also employ a contractor who is a technical expert and the wannabe priest. And then, of course, there's this love angle between, Dr. Kristen feels that David is someone is somebody whom she wants to be with, but she's not able to tell him. And at the same time, the show very, very clinically examines the fact that the kind of toll it takes on their personal life. Like Dr. Kristen keeps dreaming about this, like a devil, an incubus called George, who comes in her dreams and does all sorts of demonic things with her. And then you have David, who feels that he has seen the vision of God. And then there is Ben, who keeps on... So then one of these episodes is very interesting, that a guy actually hacks an Alexa device and starts talking to people around by giving them their personal details. And then they come to know that it's actually done through the internet, through Wi-Fi. People are hacking each other's accounts and privacy issues. And it looks very refreshing. This is something new. I mean, I've seen other episodes of Supernatural, all of that stuff, but this goes back to the same good versus evil, devil versus the hero, all that stuff. This show actually goes out and proves that there can be a different, innovative angle to look at this. So the catch of this entire show is the chemistry between Dr. Kirsten, Father David, and Ben. Plus, there are some nuances, like Michael Emerson, who plays like this really, like a pervert actually, like a stalker, Dr. Leland Townsend, who's basically obsessed in encouraging others to commit evil acts. Like very interesting. So each character is very interestingly put out. Like, so Dr. Leland, he comes out and he meets this guy who's in a Starbucks and he proposes to a girl, and she just puts him down by saying, no, I'm in a relationship, and he feels very stupid and he leaves and she ignores him. So he catches hold of him and he says, why don't you gift her a dead animal in a gift box and she'll scream. So he preys on people who are really stuck hard by the society, and he gives them the exit to evil, to commit evil acts. And then they bring the digital angle, that all of this is done on the internet, there are technical equipments, there are groups, believers together. I think it's very interesting, and I think full marks should be given to Robert and Michelle King, who have created this fascinating show. And you have to remember that this is something which is on CBS. It's not on any it's not on any streaming network, so you have to find it on a torrent. It's a beautiful show, And for the uninitiated, Robert King and Michelle King have made The Good Wife, which was really popular. And they have a very, very nuanced view of this entire situation. And I think it looks like it's beautifully researched and has some very, very interesting visuals. And I would say the couple of Katja and Katja Herbers and Mike Colter looks phenomenal. They look extremely gorgeous, and at the same time, they don't like each other. There are many places where they don't agree, but it's so fascinating. There's a very new world here. This is a new world which you will explore in supernatural TV shows. Evil is now basically on the internet. You can find it on different torrent networks, and it's produced by CBS. And what I've been told, this will have another season as well. I hope you like my podcast on evil. And this is Rahul, your Filmi Baniya. Please do follow me on Spotify, on Anchor, and feel free to send me voice messages or whatever you feel like. And many thanks for listening. Thank you.